Video, we're going to talk about how to close more deals and 9 crazy stats and tips you can't miss. Hi, I'm JB with Marketing 360, and we help small businesses grow with our marketing and design, talent, and technology through our #1 marketing platform, Marketing 360. We call marketing and design mad, and we love mad. And hopefully these videos will help you fall in love with mad too. So make sure to follow us to learn tips, tricks, and strategies to grow your business and fuel your brand. So stat number 1, 48% of salespeople don't follow up with the prospect a second time. Basically, they contact that person one time and they give up. This is crazy. So the tip here is contact them a second time. You've cut your competition in half. In fact, if the prospect was talking to 2 different salespeople, you just won by default. Stat number 2. Only 25% of salespeople follow up after that second contact. This is crazy. 75% of salespeople basically give up after the second contact and don't make that third contact. So here again, continue making your contacts, make that third contact, you've cut your competition by 3/4, which is pretty crazy. If you only had 4 people you were competing against, you just basically won by default. Stat number 3. 10% of salespeople contact the prospect after 3 contacts. This is crazy. Basically, everybody's given up at this point. So you've cut your competition by 90% if you make the 4th contact. So if you were competing against 10 salespeople, you just won by default. Stat number 4. Let's go the opposite way now. This is where it gets really crazy. Only 2% of sales are made after the first contact. 2%. That's it. So if you expect to make the sale on the first contact, man, you're way wrong. Only 2% of the time that happens, so keep making your contacts. Stat number 5, only 3% of sales are made after the second contact. So by making that second contact, you've increased your chances by a whopping 1%. Keep making contacts. Stat 6, 5% of sales are made after the third contact. So congratulations, you've just made your chances 5% better after 3 contacts. That sucks, right? 95% of sales are made after this point, so after the third contact, don't give up, keep on going. Stat 7, 10% of sales are made after that 4th contact. Still not very good, right? So you're gonna wanna make more than 4 contacts to get your chances a little bit better. Keep making your contacts. Stat 8, and here's the good one, 80% of sales are made between the 5th and the 12th contact. So contact 1 through 4, chances are very small, right? But once you make that 5th contact, somewhere between there and the 12th contact, 80% of sales are made. Just leads you back to just continue making your contacts, never give up. So stat/tip number 9 is this. If you make 5 to 12 contacts, does that mean you're gonna open 80% of your leads? The answer is no, because of this. If you get leads coming to you, typically 50% of those are going to be good leads, 50% of those are going to be maybe not so good leads. So let's just think about it that way. Out of all the leads you received, 50% have a real shot of opening. So if you contact them 5 to 12 times, you're going to have an 80% chance of opening those leads. But what we found is out of the 50% of good leads that you have, out of the 100, you have 50 that are good, right? Out of that, really only half of those are ready to actually do something now. They can afford what you're asking for. They can really move forward. So if you were perfect, if you essentially were the best salesperson, you'll normally open up 25% of your leads. But this stat says if you contact them between 5 and 12 times, you'll open 80% of your accounts. So if you take 80% of 25% opening ratio, that's a 20% opening ratio. So what you typically see in companies, the top salespeople open 20% of their leads. And so if you're opening 20% of your leads, you're probably making enough contacts, you're probably following the process, and you're reaching out, contacting them 5 to 12 times. If you're not opening 20% of your leads, probably need to make more contacts, and you're gonna see more sales. Couple bonus tips for you. 50% of sales go to the salesperson that contacts them first. So you want to be the first one to reach out to get in touch with the prospect. And here's another one. When a prospect submits a lead form or makes a phone call and leaves a message, however it is, if you can contact them within 15 minutes, 5 to 15 minutes, so almost instantly after they reach out, you're going to have a significantly higher opportunity to close that deal. So get on them quickly and be the first to reach out. And one more tip, something to think about here, a lot of sales organizations call leads that they're not able to open dead leads. Well, here, what we think of a dead lead is literally somebody that died, right? If they died, mark it as a dead lead, don't call them anymore, right? Because they're not on this earth any longer. What we call leads that didn't open, that were still alive, are FRED leads, because that's future revenue earned downstream. That means you should never give up. Don't take no for an answer, right? It just means you need to help them understand the value of what you're providing better. Maybe you need to follow up at a later date when they're in a different mindset, when they have a different need. Just never give up, keep following up with them. If they actually happen to pass away, very sad, obviously, mark it as dead lead, don't reach out to them again. Other than that, make it a FRED lead and never give up. Shout out to the National Sales Executive Association for these stats I discovered online. Thanks guys for the research, super helpful. So in conclusion, thanks for watching. Hopefully these stats and tips help you close more deals, help you understand the value of making that contact 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 to really close that deal. Don't give up after the first, second, third, or fourth contact, because your chances of opening the sale are small in that window anyways. Just keep chopping wood. If you like the content, like it, follow it, share it with your friends. Also leave a comment if you have ideas in the future. If you have additional sales tips you want to share with the community, please leave a comment. And also text marketing to 39970 for weekly marketing text message tips to your cell phone.